Merry Meetle. Oops. Wow, isn't that wonderful? Sorry about that. So it's been a little delay in posting. Things have just been absolutely crazy around here. My newbie birds, two of them, especially the female, still rehabilitating in a big way. And yeah, so I already have a full routine, and with the rehabilitating of the two newbies, especially the girl, I literally have 2 routines a day now. So I'm like literally have one routine following the other. So I'm like, oh my god, it's rough. So we're going to do an episode today with Garn, and it's been a while since I've done a Garn post. I so want to do a lot more Garn posts than what I do already, but you know, what do? We just duck on water, pedal along as much as we can. But anyway, enough of waffling. So I'm so stoked. I finally got this book by Stephanie Dosen, or Tiny Owl Knits, and it's the Woodland Knits, and yeah, I'm so glad I finally got it. I have actually bought quite a few of her patterns already. I wonder if I've got a folder ready to go. Yeah, I do. So see this screen here, they're all the patterns I've purchased from her. I'm gonna do a separate vlog on how I archive and save and back up patterns. I do like having hard copies, but I also like a digital copy. You know, sometimes I will cut and paste a pattern into a binder, if you like, or a book for myself, or you know, or I will file with patterns in a folder to do in a season sort of thing, or you know, my creative and organizational obsession appreciates having files on a digital format, not just, you know, the hard copy. And then I also think too, if something happens, you've always got a backup sort of. I like having a backup. That could be just military in the family speaking, but we like backups. I like backups of backups. Bordering on the OCD, I think. Anyways, so you know, I think one of the things I love doing the most is when I buy patterns or get a pattern book, I literally comb through the whole thing. And you know, I tend to buy pattern books where there's nearly every single pattern I want to make. Otherwise I just buy the individual patterns if they're available online. But you know, I have bought a book just to get one pattern, which is this fairy tale knits, but happens so as I look through the book, oh, I like this and I like that too. So I think I'll just keep this post on Stephanie's book and patterns. And yeah, what is there not to love? If you love the woods and you love nature, I just think it's just a beautiful book. It's a nice heavy paper as well. Probably only downside is some of the pages are a bit dark, and if you're trying to squint at night, it's not the best. You know, it's better to have a black and white when you're reading your ingredients for a garn recipe. But I mean, it's just beautiful. I'm not going to show the actual instructions, but we will flip through. Now, this is not the best lighting. What I might do is try and set up this camera so I can just flick through. But the thing is, I just don't want to show any pattern instructions, so I'm going to have to probably be a little bit I don't know, a little bit creative on how I do this. Hang on. I really need a deeper desk for what I'm trying to do here. So this is the Catching Butterfly Wristers. I think this is gorgeous. She uses a lot of wool and felting. A lot of the patterns I'm actually going to substitute for a vegan garn or not felt. I'm not opposed to using wool as a vegan. What I am opposed to, though, as you probably would surmise if I'm vegan as well, that I don't like animal cruelty. So things such as musing, how animals are kept. I think, I would rather pay more for a garn and support an independent designer than a big factory, if you know what I mean. In digressing a little bit, I probably should do a post on wool and vegan and all that sort of thing. Not because I'm trying to beat anyone up for what they do and what they don't do with wool. Just more of an awareness and probably kind of a call to actions of things we need, which is also something we can do to help the market, not destroy it. So on that note, in Europe, especially in the Nordic areas, the Baltics, etc., there are very special breeds of sheep, and someone actually came along with an idea of a passport. So literally you collect wool from different breeds of sheep, and these small little independent breeders or wool suppliers are literally keeping this breed of sheep going, including some natives, and without them they'd have no hope, no future. So I think you can support the existence of an actual species of being around just by purchasing wool, as long as these sheep are obviously cared for. And in these small situations they usually are the farmers, if you're going to call them that, or I should say the animal parents, the parents of the animals, I should say, they usually have a deep love and interest in the welfare of their animals. They're not going to mistreat them, usually a small little family business as well. I think it's important to support these. And you also need to realise that in some areas it's so freaking cold that wool is literally the only real means that you have of keeping warm. I mean, there's some parts of the world where it's literally dark during the day at different times of the year. Cotton and plant fabrics aren't always going to help. So, there needs to be a bit of understanding and also accommodation, and I can't see why we can't have situations of win-win where the animals can help us, but we also help the animals. So the animals help us, but not at the expense of the very things they need to be happy, healthy, alive and thrive, and that sort of thing. But enough of that, back to this book. So I love these are long wristers. She's also done another version of Catching Snowflakes, which is I'll go to her home jump page. Nope. Clicking on the computer. So you can get her patterns on Ravelry as well. So she's got and also Etsy. So anyway, she's got the Catching Snowflakes version of these wristers as well. And I just love the imaging and all this. These are the FairieWings felted. It's not all wool felts that well, so you really do have to look into reviews and where you're getting your wool from. At some point in time, I'm going to do a bit more research and reaching out to suppliers of wool here in Australia to find ones that have ethical practices, and to also support their business. And because at the moment I keep coming across the majority of stuff that's probably made in China or India. You don't know what's going on with the animals, and anyway, enough of that. So the patterns we've got here, I think instead of looking at the index, but we're just looking at the book, it's a bit of a flip through. Look at this bear jumper. Now she has literally held 2 pieces of garn together in making this, and I don't know, there's something I like about the speckles as well, because I see the bear as a constellation that's related to Bridget or Bridie within my tradition. So what we'll do is I probably need to stand to do this properly, otherwise we're just not going to see the images that well. Sorry guys, it's a little bit on the fly. Alrighty, so this is the deer with little antlers hat. How good is that? Now she's got adult child size, and she's got the medium weighted wool in recommendation, but you know, I've got cream wool that I'll use to do the antlers. However, I'm going to use a acrylic garn to do the actual hat itself, because it's a medium weight, and I do have some medium weight in this color. So I'm not going to show the actual pattern, just out of respect for the designer. I don't want anyone to sort of pause, but it's well written. The patterns is easy to follow. Yep, okay, so I've just missed the actual written pattern. Yeah, sorry. This is a Moonbeam duster. I just think that's cute. It's a nice vest. Again, she's got a medium weighted garn there, wool. I've got, yeah, my hands in that are shot because of just, haven't had as many soaks in the tub as I'd like recently, just time-wise. Moonbeam duster. So yeah, again, I'm going to use medium weighted garn that I've got, and I just love the effect of using all different types of garn. Nice way to use up odds and ends of yarn as well. And she's got recommendations of all the different garns that she's used. She's definitely bordering on the natural fibers side of things, which I like, but you know, again, at the end of the day, I get concerned the bigger a company is, and especially when they don't state their ethical practices. It's like, well, are they using their sheep, and you know, and I think there's also something nice and quaint about getting some wool, if it's a natural fibre, from an independent supplier or breeder who's really small scale and they're literally local, you know what I mean? But this is just stunning. I think they're so cute. It's knitted. She has a lot of knitting needle and also DPNs and circular needlework as well. And that's it there. But I'm not going to show the pattern. You could do a tan version as well. That would be fine. I'm kind of gravitating towards really light colours at the moment, and creams and whites. I think as well as you get older, you sort of you just want more light. Everything starts to feel a bit dark. I don't know, it's just me. The Bo Peep scarf, I mean, how flipping cute is that? She's combined a alpaca and a mohair garn together, like kids silk haze, like from Rowan. I'm actually just going to do a DK. I'm going to do this in DK, and you know, I won't get the fluffiness and softness of mohair in there, but at the end of the day, I want it for the pop of colour. So I might even do a more vibrant pink or a light coral. I don't know. I will end up probably making a few. You know, even if I don't wear it as a scarf as she's got here, I will end up having it in my hair. So, you know, don't want to show the pattern. So it's a Bo Peep scarf. And how cute is this muff? So you place your hands in there to keep warm, and she's done an optional. You can use a velvet green ribbon if you like to have it around your neck. It's done in a few parts. She's got the inner warmer, and then the lining, and then the flowers are on top with little leaves as well. Again, she's using yarn that is wool. I'm actually going to be, and remember, some of this is felted too, so I don't know, I'll play around. I might do half and half. I might do wool with the base, but then actually do DK acrylic with the flowers themselves, because when they're done really small, I don't mind the effect. So anyway, that's a tiny violet hand puff. Look! Fawn poncho. How cute is that? I do have, again, she's recommending a medium weighted wool garn. I'm going to use my acrylic medium weight, and I've got speckles, and she's basically got 2 strands held together. So I've got a speckle to hold together with another color, and I just think this is beautiful as a poncho. I just look at the fawn, isn't that just so cute? I like very much. This would actually knit pretty quickly, considering you probably had a bit of time on doing the graph, but that's about it. Okay, next up, Free Rapunzel. This is such a cute beanie. I really like the plaited long ear flaps. I think they're just gorgeous. Believe it or not, I have not done cable work before. This will be my first go at doing cables, and it's something I love seeing beautiful knots and, you know, intricate cablings working in each other. I just love it. So I think it would be nice to do this as a first cable project. I think it'll be good. I might even make some wristers using that same cabling somewhere, probably around the knuckles, if you like. Yeah, it's really dark in here. I've got like 3 lights on, which is making my hands look purple. But yeah, we're literally 2 weeks away from the shortest day of the year and the longest night, and then we start getting increase in the daylight again. So she's got 2 lots of weight, chunky weight yarn, super chunky weight garn. I might even hold 3 strands of medium weight garn together, which is acrylic. I'll see. But I'm again tending to want to go cream or light speckled garn. So that's another knit. Really nice thick quality pages too. I really appreciate that, and I like it when books have these flaps as well, because you can literally use them as bookmarks to hold, you know, the page that you're working on. So this is a Woodland Hoodlet. I love it, just even if it was just a cowl or cape alone, but it actually has a hood, and that's just like makes it even better. Again, she's got a super chunky garn. I'd probably end up holding 2 strands of medium weight together in a acrylic again, but in a cream or natural color. I like the effect of having 2 different tones of the same color together as well when it comes to holding strands together. This is beautiful. I'm obviously not showing all the pages because I'm not going to show the instructions. The Meow mitts, how cool are these? These are little wristers. I recently bought her 2 wrister patterns, just diverting a little bit, which is, what's it, the Woodlands. Let me pop it up, hang on. Here we go, so the Woodsy Association. So you got foxes, rabbits, or hares and squirrels and bears. I just think they're gorgeous, and if you look closely, they have little tiny little widget bits. So there's a beehive on the bear. There's a tail on the, what's that? No, a tiny bear. I've forgotten what it is called. I know what it is, I just can't remember. And on the rabbit, I believe, squirrel, sorry, there's little acorns, are they? And with the rabbits there's little tiny poms, as if to say it's little rabbit bums, and on the foxes it's got the foxtail. They're just cute. So she's done two. So there's a Woodsy Association 2.0, and then there's the original Woodsy Association, which is the first one. So there's the Catching Snowflakes pattern. So here's the first Woodsy Association. So there's a stag in this one, and there's like antlers as a little accent on the gloves, a wolf, little wolf tail, the badger, raccoon, the raccoon tail. I just think it's gorgeous. And then there's the owl. So, and the owl tail, so owl feather, sorry. So yeah, I've bought these two pattern sets. I just think they're all cute. I mean, you know, if you're anything like me and you do a lot of work outside, and especially when you're in a cold area, you can't have enough little wristers and warmers and that sort of thing. So these are the same sort of pattern, but with the glyph of a cat or kitten. I just think they're just cute. Very cute. The FairieWings that we saw over at the earlier on in the book, and that's using a weighted 2 fine weight mohair silk garn. Don't know what I'm going to use. I'm not going to be in a rush to do this one. It'll probably be one of the last patterns I do in this book, but I'm still going to do them. I think they're gorgeous. Even just having in decor, I'm very thing for bringing nature in my house. The Dragon Watchers hood. Now this is awesome. I love how it has long ties, and look at the shape of that hood, and there's little bells on the actual strands as well, the tie-up strands. I think it's gorgeous. So this one again, she's got a super chunky weighted garn, or 6 garn. I'm going to hold 2 or even 3 strands together depending on what garn I use, and I'm actually going to use the same color in different tones to give it, that nice effect that wool can sometimes have. But definitely I'm doing this in the whole claret red sort of hue. And then the fox stole my heart. How cute is that? So this is a cow, which is a fox. She's using a 5 weighted garn, chunky garn. Again, I'm just going to hold 2 strands together in my acrylic, and she's got one here in the lighter color, fawn color. Oops, don't want to show instructions. All my mess. Got a stack of papers on the ground here. It's amazing how time just goes. The Juniper wishing scarf is just a basic scarf, but it's still nice. For me, it's the color as well. I love green. I actually have these boots from before I was vegan. I still have them. We have very similar taste in clothes and styling. I think that's the other thing too when you see patterns, isn't it? When you come across someone who's got similar taste and style, it's like, you don't really have to do a lot of tweaking. So she's using she's again combining 2 strands, a 1 and a 2 weighted garn. I'd just go DK. As for the butterflies, though, I do believe they're felted, so I don't know, play around, I'll see what I do. But they're just cute. So these are long wristers as well, they're not short, they sort of like can bulk up. The Garden Gate Ivy, this is another one I really like. It's a cowl and it's nice and thick. Yeah, I want to show, without seeing the pattern there, can you see the inside? Doing this with one hand is not the easiest thing on the planet, but anyway, it's just a beautiful pattern. Nice and simple. Again, love the colouring. It's a Garden Gate and Ivy Seedpod purse. Wow. I have some olive pure superwash wool which felts nicely. I would definitely be using that garn to make this. This is gorgeous. I do a lot of foraging, and this would just, you know, for those little things would be cute. There's that bear pullover. Isn't he beautiful? Beautiful. And there's little ears on the hood of the jumper as well. Looks like a simple, oversized, comfy knit. I think, you know, some of us who are very woodsy sort of inclined, we like our cozy drapey, you know, not really runway sort of streamlined. Look how skinny I am. It's more comfy layers and cozy. So these are Wanderwillows. These are, I believe, the leg warmers. Yeah. And they're 2 layered as well. They'll be perfect for my Wellingtons, my boots, for being outside. She's using a medium weighted garn again. So that's those. How are we going for time? The Wildflower crown, and this is wool felted. These are just cute. These would be really nice as well for scrap bits of wool that you've got left over from projects, and you can do quite a few different colours. I know, this is nice. I like the flowers look felted. So this is a scarf and wrister set, which looks like birch, and they're knitted in a tube and felted, so they definitely have to be a wool to be felting like this. And she's standing among a couple of birch. But this is so sweet. I really do like this. I don't know about the tassels. I probably want them trimmed. I'd always feel like I need to trim the edges, otherwise I don't know. We'll see how I go at the time. But I might even put some dark strands in the actual tassels themselves when I do it. But it's definitely a pattern I've wanted to do. This is the Changeling collar. We're nearly there. It's reversible. Light on one side, dark on the other. It's a very sweet collar. And that's, can you see, it just clips as so. And the last one, Midsummer Night's Dream. This is another hat, but it's got little antlers and is a hood, and can you see the wreaths all around the edges? Is that the last one? Yes. Let me just go back. Yeah, it is. And that is so sweet. So that's Stephanie Dosen and Tiny Owl Knits. It's definitely a nice book, worth getting. Because we're running out of time, she's basically got, I will add a link to the description of this vlog, and I'll add a link to her website, but also her Ravelry and her Etsy store. With her Etsy store, I've actually bought quite a few of her patterns. Let me go to, I bought this Hedwig shawl. This is beautiful. But there's only a certain amount that she has selling at any point in time. This is her store here, Tiny Owl Knits. I also bought the beekeeper's quilt, the cowl, these feathered earrings. These are cases to store your needles and notions. They're castles that you take the lid off and you unwrap them and your needles are inside. I also got the parcel tongue knitting beanie, which is like little snakes. The fern shawl, I've got that one. I've got the sweet robin, so you got a nest on one wrister and the robin on the other. Rosy wristers, got that. The lamb wristers. Look at this top. This is all cable. It's just stunning. I got this one as well. This hat reminds me of Monkey Magic, but I still like it. I did get it. These are two charm bracelets. She's got 3 of them. I've got the 3 of the sets. Now there's Wizard and Witch School Volume 1 and 2. Some of these patterns, there's 5 in each of those volumes, and some of these patterns are in those. This is in Volume 2. This is in Volume 1. The Moon Coosa boots, I've got those too. They're felted wool boots. As you can see, some of these patterns are in the book we just looked at.